then when you're all set, I would just love if you could introduce yourself and your role on sex education.
Yeah, my name is Saleh. I use they, them, their pronouns, he, him, his pronouns, and these, theirs, and pronouns. And I am playing Cal on sex education on season 3 of sex education.
Perfect. And you are a new character to the show. So I just wanted to ask what your first impression when you read the script of Cal of what they were. What was your first impression of them?
Yeah. My first impression of Cal was that they were really chill and relaxed. They were more relaxed than I was when I was in high school. They seemed to be somebody who was really thoughtful and careful when interacting with other people, and also somebody who cares a lot about people's personal uh, expression.
And you brought up high school, and I mean, sex education takes place there. And I just wanted to ask, like, how does, Cal's own storyline, but even just all of the storylines that are depicted on the show relate to your own high school experience?
Yeah. I think just like the show is set in a high school, just in general at Moordale High. And it talks about or the writers, sorry, the show is set in a high school, Moordale High School, and it's written to address some of the issues that teenagers have with having access to information about sex or which is why they took it into their own hands, which can get dangerous sometimes. I'm not I don't think they're trying to say that that's what students should do, that youth should do. But oftentimes seeking out knowledge from reliable sources is something that, I don't know, people don't really have access to. So they just wanted to highlight some of the issues and conversations that are necessary, that are often not had in those rooms when youth are being taught about sex education within their classrooms.
So just on that side, you're saying that, your own high school experience, this wasn't as much of a conversation that they were having there, and the students weren't, seeking it out for themselves.
No, well, I mean, I was seeking it out on Tumblr. I was finding a lot of information on Tumblr and through articles and through different gender theorists on my own. But these were conversations that yeah, well, I guess people weren't really even thinking because they didn't have enough resources to even consider the subjects that are brought up in sex education on Netflix. So yeah, I think that these are conversations that are necessary or that are important, that are highlighted by the writers and by the directors and producers.
And just going off of that, I mean, there's not a lot of representation of non-binary characters in media in general. I think that's obvious. But in the show as well, they talk about chest binding, which I think is another thing that's glossed over and not really addressed anywhere or talked about. So how did you feel when you saw these scenes that was going to be addressed and talked about, and that people are going to be seeing that more?
I thought it was important. I've had experiences with binding, even with ace bandages myself. And also I also got proper binders that wouldn't compress me too tightly. But I think it's important that it was brought up because with my experiences, I was during my commutes, I would knock out because of how dangerous the binding was for my body, which was dangerous if I'm going on the Green Line train to one of my courses, to get to and me having blacked out. It's something that a lot of trans people don't really think about because they just are caring about affirming themselves and caring about the aesthetics of it. But I think it was really important that that was brought up, just like with my own personal experiences with binding. And I think just in general, for the general public to know that that's something that that certain people are doing to affirm themselves, or to have more comfort in the way that they're perceived by other people, or that the ways that they perceive themselves, like in the mirror.
And taking on the role of Cal and, having fans see you and see you depict this character, how has the feedback been on that? Have people reached out asking you questions, and just wanting to know more?
Yeah, outside of from the obvious, people asking me like when season 4 is coming out, I've gotten a lot of or if season 4 is coming out, I've gotten a lot of DMs from people just like saying that they felt really affirmed by Cal, or seeing both Cal and Layla represented, seeing a non-binary person, and seeing like 2 trans actors represent non-binary people on the show. It just felt really invigorating and affirming, and probably amazing for those people to see. And I understand how they feel, because like seeing trans characters in any show or any movie or any form of media always brightens up my day, and always makes me like feel excited, because we're often erased from the social imaginary. Like people don't even like, it's like, this is a really revolutionary act to have both Cal and Layla represented in sex ed on season 3. And I think it's beautiful. And I think all the messages that I've received from it, although I do kind of feel a little bit overwhelmed by the number of people who are doing it, it's definitely brightened up my spirit a lot.
And this is one of your first big acting roles that you've taken on. So I just wanted to ask too, just how, the production went for you taking on that big of a role. And then again, now that it's out, how that has been in that experience.
Yeah, it was the first network show that I've been on, or the first network anything that I've been on. I was doing a lot of like, I guess, gender affirming theater, like in Minneapolis for myself, but that was like more like off Broadway, like weird, darker content. And being invited to a show like this that is like accessible in a way, through humor, through awkwardness, through sweetness, and sometimes like difficult conversations, difficult experience, has like made me think more deeply about acting as a practice, both like artistically, spiritually, and in just like having deep empathy for another human being in general, in order to understand how to depict them in the right way.
And how was working with the cast? I mean, you watched the show before and kind of knew these characters, and then now meeting them in real life? I mean, what was that experience like?
I actually hadn't watched the show, because I assumed that the show was for teenagers or for youth, and I'm an adult, so I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch this. But when they asked me to audition, I immediately binged it, because I was like, what is this show about? Like, why are they reaching out to me? And I was blown away. It was really beautiful. So I did get nervous when I came in, because I binged the show in like 2 days. And it's such an amazing show, such amazing storytelling, such amazing like directing and cinematography, just overall, and amazing acting. So I got really nervous, met them on set, like literally probably, I think Asa saw me like shaking, like being like, hey, I really like your acting, like and I like kept nerding out to people, like each individual actor being like, you're so amazing, like sorry, I don't know if I can swear.
That's
but
fine.
yeah, it just felt really amazing, and I felt really welcomed by everybody and really cared for by everybody, just because it was like my first thing for real. So
And now that the show is officially out and we don't really have to worry too much about spoilers, do you have a favorite scene that either, Cal was in, or just in general that came out in season 3?
yeah, well, I mean, I have multiple, but the one, I don't know. I think I like I don't know. I really like the shroom scene. The shroom scenes. They're really funny. They're really lighthearted. I feel like we had like a blast like during them. There's like cereal flying everywhere. We were spinning around. We were slamming on the door. Like, you know, Kidara was like making me crack up. I was trying to stay in character the entire time because he's so funny. But yeah, I think that was probably my favorite part.
And now that you have your first big, series out there, what would be a dream role for you if you continue to pursue acting?
A dream role. I don't know. I just really want Viola Davis to notice me at some point. I referenced her in one of my songs called Moth. I want to listen to it. But yeah, anything with Viola Davis in it, if anybody were to try to produce that together, I would cry, like real genuine tears, like snot falling down my nose. Like, yeah, anything like that.
We'll make it happen. We'll just subtly tag her in this interview, just in the comments, and we'll flood it for you. You did bring up your music, which I wanted to talk about real quick. And just, music is such an expressive outlet. So how do you bring yourself into that and embrace your identity and everything when you're producing, if that's something that you choose to do?
Yeah. Sorry, one more time. Question one more time. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to ask about, how you use music to express yourselves and if you bring your identity into it in the lyrics or how you, present it, or if it's just more of a creative outlet for you.
Yeah. I feel like my music is generally just kind of very cathartic. So it's really about like me or about like imaginative space for myself, like through the experiences that I've had. So I think like an example would be the song that I have coming out on September 24th called Fit with Amare. It's like I talk about I use Afro beats and Afrofusion elements to talk about like Blackness. I talk about like ballroom scenes and mysticism, and I talk about like my relationship to queerness and like relationship to money, and it's like also just like a reflection of like what I've been thinking about as I'm transitioning into different like things, like including sex ed, you know what I mean? So it's just like a direct relationship with self that I have, which is very different compared to like what my experiences are with art making through acting. Like me channeling Cal, very different from me just like spilling my heart out into like a song, you know what I mean? So I think that's like, and I think I'm like more yeah, never mind. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. And then my last question, I mean, we just met Cal, but going forward in season 4, what would you want to see for them? What would you want their plot to continue?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that type of stuff, like, because I don't know if we're allowed to talk about anything outside of that. So I'm just gonna abstain from anything, if that's okay.
Okay. I mean, it could just be like not related at all. Like if you've seen the script, just be like, I wish this. But again, you don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to see. I don't know. I'm like, something is telling me not to say anything. Actually,
okay.
So.
No worries. Right. If you're too influenced by other things, I don't want to get in trouble either.
They have like a Netflix mafia. I keep saying this, but it's like, I don't know. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble.
Me either. Don't worry. Well, thank you so much for chatting today. This has been really great. And congratulations on season 3.
Like this video? Follow us for more.